game whose primary objective is to acquire copious amounts of monetary gain by withering health away, just like in real life. Except in the game, you do it to other people. The way this game stands out in a convoluted crowd of repetitive roguelikes is the way you interact with the world. In most roguelikes, you go down a series of levels, collecting items that may synergize with each other, until you eventually reach a final level and you either completely annihilate the final boss because your run is so broken, stop summoning these little shitheads, or you get steamrolled by it because your run is so shit. Noita isn't much different in that regard. You also go down a series of levels, get items that synergize with each other, and try your best to win the game. The way Noita stands out in that regard is that it lets you dictate how your items synergize with each other instead of letting the game do it for you. Every weapon in the game is fully customizable with the game's spells. We can range from modifiers, multipliers, spells that scatter other spells. You can expect to be able to do just about anything imaginable. On top of that, every single pixel in the game's environment is fully simulated. That makes the game world feel a lot more like an actual place instead of a bunch of levels stringed together. It also brings to the table some interesting new ideas that I personally haven't seen in other roguelikes. For example, the fact that it's a hybrid roguelike slash sandbox game. Although you start at the entrance to the first level, you're not actually forced to do the first level, or the second one, or the third one. It can be a very non-linear experience, and the game expects you to try and explore the other areas of the map. You ever played a game that clearly wants you to go right but you go left instead just to see if there's anything there? Noita is kinda like that, except that when you go the other way, you find an entirely new area with new secrets, enemies, and levels. The game is filled to the brim with secrets, and it rewards you for exploring the world and going off the beaten path. This temple, for an example, unlocked me a new spell, and I just kinda stumbled upon it. I wasn't even looking for anything interesting. It also spawned a demon. Not sure what I did to spawn it, but I spawned a demon. Because of the game's nature, anything and everything can happen. No matter how strong your run is, no matter how much health you have, and no matter how busted your ones are, one misstep in the game will ruin your life. Oh my god, what happened to me? I just vanished, dude! Players call this getting Noita, and there's really no better term for it. A string of mishaps happens and it ends with either you or everything around you dying. This can make the game both frustrating and very fun. It really depends on what you're looking for when you play a roguelike. Keep in mind, however, I use the term roguelike here very loosely because, like I previously mentioned, the game is kind of a hybrid. It's something that I actually never seen before. It has a lot of elements of exploration games, there's a lot of mysteries and secrets that requires hours of setups in order to work, and the game isn't railed in a dungeon. You can play the game as a simple roguelike for 6 or 7 levels in the main dungeon, but that's not even half of the experience. I'd show you a picture of the map of the game world here, but that will probably spoil the entire game for you. Just trust me when I say this. It's fucking massive. Noita quickly climbed the ranks for me, and it's becoming one of my favorite games of all time. If you're a fan of sandbox games, you definitely enjoy this. The amount of customization you can do to your arsenal is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of secrets in the game's world is also pretty ridiculous. And the sheer size of the game's world itself is insane. I'm 20 hours into this game, and I barely even scratched the surface of what you can do. And if you're a fan of roguelike games, you might enjoy this too. I know I keep mentioning this, but this is a very unique roguelike. I have a hard time even calling it a roguelike in the first place. It has pretty much every element of a roguelike, but the game is way too open for me to comfortably call it that. Because, in a way, it is a roguelike, but it doesn't really play out like one. Okay, imagine Lethal League Blaze, right? Lethal League is most definitely a fighting game, but it's really unique in a way that it doesn't play out like a regular fighting game. If you were to compare it to Street Fighter or Skullgirls or something, you can very easily tell the difference. Noita is to roguelikes what Lethal League is to fighting games. They both share pretty much all elements of one genre, but they expand on it so much that they're just kind of their own thing. In conclusion, if you're a roguelike fan and you're looking for something that might break the monotony of every roguelike being pretty much the same game but reskinned, Noita is definitely the way to go. It has all the elements of a roguelike and it expands the gameplay so much through so many different branches that I just have to recommend it to you. It is a very good game, it is very well made, and I definitely think all of you will enjoy it. I'm dead. Fuck! Thank you for watching this little video. I know it's on the shortest side, but honestly I prefer it this way. It's a lot more manageable for me. Sending out a few short videos a week with little editing is a lot better than uploading one big video every other month, in my opinion. That being said, I'll have to find another use for the green screen since I can't really fit it into this format. I'll try to think of something nice to do. Also, I'm streaming again. I've been doing a lot of Noita recently. If you want to check it out, give it a follow. There's a neat little feature in the game that allows the Twitch chat to vote on random events to happen in game, and I love when games do that. As always, subscribe if you want, comment how much you hate the short videos and you want the long ones back, and stay tuned for more stuff. Bye bye!